So, when I was working on my Junko Enoshima analysis video, I realized that I had a couple of theories. And so I decided, instead of putting those at the end of the video, I'm just going to give those theories their own video entirely. There's going to be four of them, and I'm just going to get right into them. Now, the first theory is that Junko Enoshima and her sister Mukuro Ikusaba are half European. And this is a theory simply because it's not confirmed. This theory comes from the fact that Makuru has freckles. As shown in Danganronpa 0, Junko's natural hair color is almost certainly red. We do know that the sisters took a family trip to Europe, possibly to meet some relatives. And we know that, percentage-wise, Ireland has the highest amount of redheads relative to their population. So they could be half Irish, but they could also be half Scottish, or even from Great Britain. The second theory is that the names, Junko Enoshima and Makuru Ikusaba, are actually pseudonyms, or fake names. And there are two variations. The first one is actually that only Mukuro Ikusaba is a fake name, whereas Junko Enoshima is actually her real name. Now, the name Makuru means corpse or body, and the name Ikusaba means warblade or battlefield. So that could just be some sort of pseudonym that Makuru was given upon joining up with Fenrir. The second variation states that both of their names are fake. Now, we know because of students like Celestia Lutenberg that at Hope's Peak, if a student has an alternate name, the school will just go ahead and use that alternate name. So if they both had pseudonyms or one of them, the school would go ahead and use them, again, like Celestia Lutenberg. What's their real name? Well, Junko's real name could be Ryoko Adanashi. The third theory is the Junko tragic backstory theory. Now, according to the series creator, Kodaka Kazutaka, Junko is the type of villain who has no sympathetic qualities or any sort of tragic backstory. That's an explanation for her motivation or why she does what she does. But according to this theory, Junko actually does have a tragic backstory. According to this theory, Junko is obsessed with despair because something bad happened to her in her past. And we don't know when, but if this is true, it probably happened on her birthday. Or it even could have been a recurring thing on her birthday, because after all, we do know that Junko hates her birthday. Alter ego Junko's last words at the end of Danganronpa 2 also suggest that Junko may have had a tragic backstory. Now, the fourth and final theory is the Ryoko Adanashi / Junko Enoshima theory. This theory states that Junko actually has split personality syndrome, much like Toko and Genocider Show. And there are four reasons why I think this might be the case. Reason number one, Ryoko Adanashi is a separate consciousness from Junko. In Danganronpa 0, we see that the two have conversations within the same body, and they don't like each other. Reason number two, we don't know where Ryoko Adanashi came from. Yasuke Matsuda never claims to have created Ryoko, and in fact, Junko proves this by telling him that Ryoko never even existed. We also have no evidence that Junko knows how to create a separate consciousness. Reason number three, even after Ryoko gains her memory, she still doesn't become Junko. She stays as Ryoko. Rather, the Junko persona has to take over the body for Ryoko to lose control. And number four, even after Ryoko claims that she doesn't exist, this doesn't seem to literally be true. Ryoko seemingly is still in there somewhere, but Junko is now in control of the body. Keep in mind, in Danganronpa 0, Ryoko narrates in the first person, referring to herself as I. Even after Ryoko loses control of the body to Junko, Ryoko continues narrating. Ryoko calls Junko that girl, letting us as the audience know that she and Junko are still different consciousness, or different people. I suggest reading Danganronpa 0 for yourself, but especially pages 233 to 235. Notice how Ryoko, the narrator, refers to Junko distinctly as that girl. It seems to be that Junko Enoshima and Ryoko Adanashi, again, might have some sort of Toko and genocide or show situation going on. So now it's the classic chicken or the egg question. Who came first, Junko Enoshima or Ryoko Adanashi? My guess is Ryoko came first. Here's why. When talking to the principal, despite knowing that Junko is going by Ryoko Adanashi, Kyoko refers to her as Junko. Makoto also tells Ryoko that he knows her, likely referencing Junko. This tells us that some students and staff at Hope's Peak know that Ryoko Adanashi is also known as Junko Enoshima. It wouldn't make sense for them to make up a new name for Junko, so we can infer that Ryoko Adanashi is in fact probably her true and original name, with Junko Enoshima probably being a stage name for later. When Junko got amnesia, people began to refer to her as her true original name, with some people like the Madurai brothers not being informed of her true original name and only knowing her as her stage name, Junko Enoshima. So, those are the 4 mini theories. Again, none of this, as far as I'm aware, is confirmed to be true, so I want this to be its own separate video from the Junko Enoshima analysis. Hope you enjoyed. I'm trying to put as much content out as I can, my schedule willing. So I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope you stay tuned and subscribe for more content. Alright, hope to see you later. Have a good one.